I'm Bethany Anderson of Bethany Heals, and if life's been lifing lately, then you found me just in time. This is a pause, a permission slip to just be. And before we begin, let me remind you, your healing isn't on a timeline. Around here, we don't hustle our healing, we honor it. Trust that your intuition brought you here for a reason. So let's drop into our next archive episode. Hello, loves. Just a quick note before we begin. This episode does include a brief mention of suicide. Please take care while listening and skip ahead if you need to. If you or someone you know is struggling, you can call, text, chat 988, the U.S. Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And if you're outside of the U.S., you can find local support at findahelpline.com. Hello, my loves, and welcome to our next guest episode here on Life.ing. I am so excited for our next guest, how we came together and just the adventures that we've been on and now just coming to this. I'm so excited to have our beautiful next guest on. Her name is Jami Lee Avery, and she is the CEO of the Den Meditation, which is a leading wellness event production company and virtual studio. And she's also the founder of The Cosmos, where she guides brands through strategy, branding, and marketing with a deeply intuitive touch. She's known for her grounded leadership, creative vision, and the kind of energy that just simply makes people feel good. And I'm so excited to have her on the show. Welcome, Jami.
Thanks, Bethany. What a lovely intro. I appreciate that. So nice.
Yes. So I'm so excited to have you on because you just inspire me so much just for how authentically you that you are. And from the moment I met you, I just knew you are truly one of a kind. And I'm just so excited for my audience to be able to get a little tasty taste of Jami.
Thank you, babe. You know, it's such a mirror because you are just one of the baddest women I've ever met, and I love you. So it's an honor to be here today, an honor to share, and I'm here for it. So bring it on.
Yes. So just to give you all some background about how I know Jami, let's rewind to my story, which I've shared in season 1 of how I found this entire world of intuitive healing, which is me starting at this studio in LA called the Den Meditation. That's how I found Catherine, which she was also a guest on last season. And I just was at that studio so much. It was such a pivotal part of my journey and my story. And I remember years after, I had signed up to go to a retreat in Mexico with the Den. And it was a whole wild situation. I was supposed to be going with someone who backed out the last minute. And then I was like, well, I'm going by myself. And I didn't realize that Jami and her husband Jay had taken over the Den. And so that was my first time connecting with them and meeting them. And when we met in person in Mexico, I was like, who are these angels? I need to spend every waking moment with them. I love them so much. I love you so much. And we just totally hit it off. And so I don't know. I feel like a true friendship was formed during that time. And now you're just stuck with me.
How fun was that trip though, right? We nailed it. That was amazing.
Oh my gosh. That retreat was seriously, it was exactly what I needed. I didn't know what I needed. I just showed up and I was like, yo, I'm here. And you were so accommodating with me and all of the stuff that happened and the chaotic stuff that it took for me to get there. And I just remember showing up, just feeling so held and welcomed. And it was so easy. And I loved that retreat. It was so special. And the whole crew that was there too was great.
It's so funny. Retreats are my absolute favorite thing. I've been planning them for over a decade around the world. And literally every time a group comes together, they're supposed to be together. And our kind 100%. Of vibe is we always go with the flow. So, things happen, especially when you're traveling, especially when you're, doing wellness, doing spiritual things somewhere far away. So we always flow with it and we have a lot of fun, So I'm so happy you came on that one. That was a blast.
And keep in mind, you planned that underneath a freaking solar eclipse.
Remember
that was wild.
all had the glasses. There was just like 20 something of us laying, just staring up with our glasses, overlooking the whole ocean. That was epic. Such a beautiful property.
Oh my gosh, that was wild. I was like, y'all, we are really brave to just be sitting under this eclipse right now. But you know what? I'm here for it. Let's go.
It was so funny too. As we were planning it, all of our astro girlies were like, please don't plan any travel or even golf. Gaul Sassoon, one of my favorite astrologers that we work with, he was like, do not plan over this eclipse. And we're like, we already did. We've been planning, but it worked out. It worked out. So.
It really did. It really did. I know. I was thinking about the astrology and I'm like, wow. But you know what? I think when it comes to astrology, it's just knowing what's happening during that time and working with it, right? So, I mean, we can't stop our lives. So.
Well, you were there to make sure everyone kind of felt good. You were doing the cards, you were sharing your astrology. So I think it worked to our favor because we were learning about it and incorporating it thanks to you. So.
Oh my God. I totally forgot. I was out here being a mini astrologer that trip.
You were.
So wait, I want to rewind so far back.
Let's go.
Because I want to know how the heck you even ended up in this world. Like what is your story?
Yeah. So like all of us, right? I come from a lot of trauma. Both my parents were drug addicts. My grandparents ended up raising me and they essentially saved my life. My grandmother taught me to always kind of follow my dreams, always follow what I want to do. If you want to travel, work hard, get there, get an education, but always have fun in your life because if you don't, what's the point? Right. So I was instilled with that at an early age, started working at 13 years old at the surf shop in Newport, which I loved. Beach rat. I love the beach. I amazing. So I've always worked and then kind of fast forward to putting myself through college. So in college, I met Jay and we were just the best friends ever. And we accidentally fell in love, which is a whole nother thing. It was such a mess, but here we are 10 years later, married, and he's wonderful. So Jay and I met in college and we loved working together. We loved collaborating, creating. And from there, we fell in love, did the thing, and started our own consulting firm called The Cosmos. It was focused around health, wellness, and positive living. And essentially it was our umbrella to do whatever we wanted. That was cool. Right? So we would plan retreats around the world. We'd work with healers, practitioners, just badass humans, creating, getting their visions. Fast forward to COVID, we did a lot of marketing, website builds, strategy, all that good stuff. For me, inspo's the best to take someone and be like, okay, let it out. Let's kind of, stream of consciousness, filter out how you feel, and then let's transpire it together. From the Cosmos during, COVID, we got a reach out from Tal, the founder of Den. And boy, I love Tal. She is such an inspiration.
I love Tal. Let me tell you, when I was going through the Den and I was moving through my car accident and all this stuff was happening, I remember at one point I couldn't afford a payment or a membership. And she was like, just keep coming. Just come. She knew my story and she was like, just keep showing up. And I love, and I truly feel that energy carried over with you and Jay so much. Right. Just the way that you show up for community and just do whatever you can to the best of your ability. And ultimately with just the goal of helping others in a way that feels so good for them and for you. So sorry, I had to throw that in there, but I love ya.
She is the best, literally. And she was such a pioneer. She started one of the first drop-in wellness studios ever. And it just blew up. People needed it, right? She founded the Den in 2016. And then fast forward to kind of COVID times, she was looking for someone to take it over, right? We had been friends through an astrologer friend, Rose Theodora, who I adore, and retreats together. And so Rose hooked me up with Tal. We were, we knew each other. And then COVID, we really chatted. And she's like, I need someone amazing to take this over. So I was like, that's not me, right? I will find someone to do this. We're the connectors. We know lots of people. Let me, kind of reach out to the network. And so long story short, Jay was sitting on the couch. He wasn't even on the call. And he was like, what if we did it? And I was like, okay. So it's been almost 4 years that Tal was closing the physical studios. So essentially it was like a startup, right? Without the physical studios, the Den was no longer a safe space to go. right? So we had to
Yeah.
create that safe space. So we pivoted to a wellness event production company and virtual studio, which allowed us to still bring people together for events, either in person or virtually around the world. So
Yeah.
it's been a journey, let me tell you, because startups are no easy thing, especially when you take something and it's completely different where you have to re-explain like, okay, wait, this is not what it used to be. But that being said, we are so honored and grateful to have been surrounded by just the most beautiful people. And we're always saying we call in like-minded, like-hearted humans to grow with. And I feel like that's exactly what we've done. Yes, we've made a lot of expensive mistakes. Yes, we've learned a lot along the way, but that's what makes it better, right? Like that's
Yeah,
what
there's the
really,
only way to learn and to like become a successful owner of whatever you're creating is through those mistakes. So it's
yeah.
like it's a part of it.
It's human, right? We're gonna make mistakes. And I'm like, wanna be, this perfectionist thing. But one of my friends, she taught me whip during COVID, work in progress. So you don't have to be perfect. You just whip it. So every time we have to throw something, we're like, put it together. You can continue to make it better and better. And that's kind of what the Den is, right? Consistency with love over time. And we just keep going. So now we have hotel partnerships around the world where we have Den residencies. We have our membership, which allows everyone to go to our in-person events as well as our virtual events. Virtual is classes, courses, trainings, workshops, certifications, you name
All the
it.
things.
And just tons of the best practitioners that are, super grounded in science, meditation, sound bath, breath work, and super out there in space. Aliens, Akashic records, channeling, tarot, you name it. If it helps people feel and it's a tool for people to be their own best healer, we're here for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot, but it's so fun. So that's really what got me in the space is, following my heart of like, this feels good. This is fun. How can I bring this feeling to other people? Because life is
Yeah.
hard. Life be
It
life,
is.
babe. And
I
it's
know.
insane. And as long as we have each other to lean upon, but then we have the strength and the tools in our own tool belt, then we're able to continue. And it's still gonna be hard, which is why
Yeah.
healing looks different at every moment.
It
Sometimes I
really
need
does.
astrology, sometimes I need ecstatic dance, sometimes I need something else. So I got it all for you.
And I really love that approachability and accessibility to just all the different modalities and offerings, especially for someone that's kind of just stepping into this space. Like, what the heck is going on over here? But you get a little taste and a little sample of everything and you find what works for you. And I think that's the best part. But I'm so curious. Wait, in your personal life, where did spirituality and wellness, this aspect,
Yeah.
begin for you?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, right, both my parents were drug addicts. And when I was 8 years old, my grandmother, I was kind of back and forth. My dad was always in and out of prison, and my mom was off the rocker most of the
Yeah.
time. So my grandparents my dad's adopted parents finally took me when I was 8 years old, and I lived with them, and it was like, maybe you'll go back. And, but what happened was I learned, right, growing up that I kind of had two paths and one felt destined. Right? Everyone was like, Jamie's going to be a drug addict, just like her family. She has no hope. A lot of people really didn't have hope for me, especially my family, which as a kid, you don't get it. Right. And you're like,
Yeah.
wait, why doesn't mom want me or dad? It's different. But
Yeah.
thankfully, right, my grandma was always, and my grandpa too, they were showing me that I kind of had that light within somehow. So it would have been the easy path to just do all the drugs and kind of go that way. But I also am kind of like the breaker, right? Like I don't want to take the easy path. You tell me that's how it's supposed to be. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Let me try this instead. So I think I chose to be like, haha, I'm gonna find my own joy anyway, right? Whether you believe in me or
Yeah.
not, right? I am going to find it. So when I was 16 years old, my boyfriend, or 17, my boyfriend at the time, so beautiful. His mom is one of the most special humans, his dad too, to me, that really inspired me. So his mom showed me yoga, and she was a yoga teacher, and she's like, come, and we'd go to LA to our studio that she loved. So she introduced introduced me to that. From there, at 17, I did my first yoga teacher training up in
At 17?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Jamie.
And so then I did
Wow.
another one at like 19. And from there, the guy I did training with, we started our own yoga company. It was called Burn Yoga, and it was at 6 a.m. So it was before early morning yoga was cool. There really wasn't any early morning yoga except for Ashtanga. So this was like loud music, light the incense, make them smell the incense, get them pumped up. We're going to sweat, and it's going to be a power hour to have the get in, get out, have the best day ever, right? That was our motto. So from there, we began planning retreats. And all of that was like, now I'm going to Tulum and I'm doing Temescal and I'm meeting the healer and I'm, in the elements. And so it was kind of a slow progression that started like from an internal light that led to yoga, that led to all the crazy stuff that I do now. So yeah, it's kind of the move.
Where the heck does this drive come from?
I don't know. My therapist was like, girl, you're on fire today, with the tribe. And I'm like, thank you. And so
it's not just today, Jamie.
Yeah.
This is like your choices from day one of you deciding to live differently. And you're like, no, I don't want this life for myself. I want something different. Where do you think that stems from?
So I saw a lot. So when I did live with my mom, right? So my mom was a meth addict. She actually killed herself 8 years ago, and she's no longer suffering, right? Like, thank God she's no longer suffering. But before that, when I did live with her, some of my earliest memories come from physical abuse and come from her having her episodes of like, someone's going to kill us in the wall and someone's following us to kill us and blah, blah, blah. And then fast forward to my dad, he was a heroin addict. So mom was up all the time, meth addict. Dad was heroin addict, more chill, right? Which is kind of nice because you don't have to chase him around. So I'd come home and there'd be like, weird things. So I looked and I would be like, this is not it for me. Like, I don't want this. I want to feel happy and good and have relationships that love me. And I think, the biggest one was I would say to myself when I was just a child, I would be crying and be like, I just want to help people. And I don't know where that came from. That is bizarre. But
that's wild. That's what I used to tell myself when I was a kid.
Girl, we
help
have
people.
the same
I don't know what
angel.
it is. Yeah. Who knows where that came from?
But weird, right? We don't know that. I was very young, and I'm sure you were too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Unreal. So I would say that, and I'd be like, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to figure it out. Right. And another one was like, my family is so messed up that I want to make my own. Right. I want to have my own family. I want to be the best mom in the world. I want to have the best friends in the world. And that's what I did. My friends are my family. You are my family, right? Our den community is our my family, our family. Like, it's beautiful because sometimes it can get a little lonely when your family is that way, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like, I'm lucky, right? By the like-minded, like-hearted humans that I get in my orbit,
I think it really just comes down to, it really is a choice. It's a choice, right? We can have some of the most traumatic things happen in our lives, but how we choose to show up for ourselves is what determines the trajectory for our life.
Amen, sister. And it's not easy, right?
No, absolutely not. What the heck? This journey was wild getting here. I hate when, people make it all seem like it's rainbows and gumdrops and sparkles. And I'm like, no, this is some work. This is some serious devotion to the self. And when you said earlier about consistency with love over time, and I immediately thought like devotion, right? It's this consistent devotion to the self that you have to have through the extremely challenging times to get to where you want to be. And it's like, how bad do you want it?
Yes.
So right? True. Because I just had this conversation with a friend the other day, and they're trying to figure out what they want to do with their life. And they're like,
everyone,
I'm like, welcome to the circus. And they're like, I'm just waiting for the motivation or the inspiration to come so I can begin. And I was just giving them some tough love of that inspiration, that motivation is not always going to be there.
You go, you find
You
it.
you
Go look
find it.
for it.
You
Feel it.
really have to know your why of why you see this vision for yourself.
Mm.
What are you trying to reach? What are you trying to get to? Because you're not always going to have the energy or the motivation to get up and be like, okay, let's go. It's game time. I have these 15 things to do today. Like, no, you just don't. And you just have to keep showing up, right?
Yes.
And I just don't know how much to impress upon that with just the people in my life when I talk to different clients. And I'm like, yo, you just have to do it. That's the only way. There's sometimes, I don't know. What do you think about that? If life's been lifing and you keep telling yourself, I'll come back to my practices, to myself when things calm down, I want you to hear this. There's no perfect schedule, but there is a way back that fits your actual life. One that doesn't unravel when things get chaotic, or one that doesn't require you to become a different version of yourself just to begin. Echoes of Self is my 4-week guided experience designed to help you reconnect with yourself in the middle of your day-to-day life in a way that actually feels like it's yours. Each week, you'll receive seasonally curated rituals, reflective prompts, and voice notes from me. We'll begin with a live opening ceremony so you feel supported from the start. And everything lives inside your private Echoes home base. The weekly drops, the prompts, replays, all of it. So there's no digging through a bunch of emails, no tracking links, just one calm place to return to. Echoes isn't here to fix you. It's here to help you hear yourself again underneath all of the noise and distractions. This is devotion in a way that feels accessible and honest and yours. If you want the details, you can join the waitlist to the link in the show notes below.
I think that, it's so tricky, right? To talk to someone that's really in it and they're like, I just don't know my purpose. I don't know what to do. For me, a biggest thing is I need to be inspired, right? I need to be inspired to feel it, to inspire other people. So I always encourage myself and others like do something fun, right? Go to the zoo, right? Go on a trip. For me, traveling, getting into the ocean is kind of my like medicine. Do something that you like or do something new, right? That kind of gets people's minds or their feelings going. So that's kind of my, prescription to myself is to like, okay, go do something new or do something that you love or just go on a trip. Jay would be like, this lady needs to calm down with trying these places, but I think that's what keeps the inspiration going. And once you could be like, wow, that is so beautiful, then you're like, okay, cool, that makes me happy then, right? What else makes me happy? What else inspires me? Then you get to form the idea of what you're into.
Wait, I actually love that medicine. I love that as medicine for inspiration. I love that so much because you're not really seeking the answers outside of you, but you're giving your energy and attention to yourself, right? It's this self-care in a way that you're giving to yourself that's getting you outside of your head, right? That reminds me of my journey with ceramics. I love ceramics, you know this, and I've been doing it for a few years, and this was the first year that I just fell off the wagon. And I will say I just started ceramics again like 72 hours ago, and I'm so excited. I'm going this afternoon for like 3 hours. But I will say I was looking for something to get me outside of this business space with Bethany Heels and everything that I was building and that I'm doing. And I'm like, I just need to do something different just to experience something outside of this. And I remember the first time that I was sitting at the wheel. I don't know what the heck happened, but everything just flowed from me. Wow. And I learned very quickly, A, that I'm a perfectionist and I have some serious issues.
Whip, always.
And hey, ceramics will humble you. It will humble a perfectionist. So learn that about myself. And honestly, it's just been like therapy for me. But I realized that playing with clay is such an intuitive practice. It's honestly, I can't get away from this intuitive space no matter what I do, but having this new outlet to explore something different and learn something new has definitely opened up my like experience with creativity and the things that I create now. And I see things differently.
Yeah.
It just unlocked something in my brain. So I love that you shared how to get into an inspirational space by kind of like taking yourself out of it and trying something different or trying something new or doing something that lights you up and excites you in a different way. Because I really do think everything's connected, right?
Yes. Yes. And when you show up for that thing, you never know who you're going to meet or what's going to be in your orbit, right? And sometimes it's okay. I had to learn this one. It's okay to say, no, I'm not going to go do that thing, right? Like sometimes you do need to just rest and like chill out, but sometimes you do need to show up and do something new and meet the people. And so you need to trust yourself always, but for sure, do new things, put yourself in a new surrounding because that's going to get that creative energy flowing. And I have to say, one of my spiritual therapists that I worked with for a long time, she was like, go do ceramics. And I went once and I was like, I hate that. Like this at all. So I'm gonna try to like give it another shot, but it's
Keep
even
going.
more, right? Like we say everyone needs healing at a different time, right? And it looks different. So we call it flavors, right? Everyone needs a different flavor at different moments. Sometimes you want vanilla, sometimes you want chocolate, sometimes you want a double scoop of Rocky Road, right? So I feel like ceramics or like painting or like dancing or going to the zoo or whatever. I really want to go to the zoo, so you might hear me keep saying that. It's really cool out here in the desert. But anyways,
Should we go to the zoo next week?
can we please? It's called the Living Desert. You can feed the giraffes, you know.
I think we need to go to the zoo next week.
Let's go to the zoo. Okay. But
I love this.
yeah. But do something fun, do something cool.
Yeah.
Things. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I was just thinking because I feel like we're both the same way.
Yeah, bring it.
Us business ladies out here doing the thing, changing the world the best way we can from our hearts. Love this for us.
Yeah.
And also, on the flip side of that, when you just said right now, sometimes you just need to chill.
Yeah.
And you need to pause.
It's a hard one.
And to like, it is so hard. I feel like I'm forever on the verge of burnout as a projector, which you
Me too.
understand.
Yeah, projector baby.
I know us projector babies over here. And for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about human design, which is, I mean, me and Natasha, she was on this on an episode last season. She talks a little bit about this, but basically it's this, I don't even know how to put it into words. It's just, I feel like it's a combination of so many different modalities and systems and teachings. And it's created these different archetypes, right? And so Jamie and I are projectors. And one thing about projectors is that, and I actually just learned this recently, which I kind of love. And I remember this saying that said something like, what takes a manifesting generator or a generator or any other profile, maybe 2 weeks to get done, a projector can finish in 3 days.
Ooh, I love that.
Which is
love
facts.
that.
But also, we can expend so much energy in such a short amount of time that I feel like burnout is a thing that I'm at least constantly having to fight myself.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, calm your tits.
Yes. Literally mantra, calm your tits. It's great.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
How do you navigate burnout and really checking yourself? Even when you're inspired and motivated, it's so hard to kind of find that balance sometimes.
Yeah. So it's been such a process, right?
Yeah.
I'm in my early 30s now, so things have changed, right? In my 20s, I'm always I'm in my head a lot of the time, right? I do my meditation practice. It is so fundamental, even if it's only 11 minutes in the morning, even if it's 5, whatever. I need that moment to like chill before I go. Before that though, I would like be in my head and then I'd wake up at like 4 a.m. and I'm like, I'm working, like I am gonna do this. And so that cut that out, right? Like rest, So now I purposefully am like, okay, it's 4 a.m. Let me sleep until 6 or let me breathe and rest my body till 6. Like that is kind of a non-negotiable of like, don't just get up because your head is working. Calm down. If you need to write it down and then lay down and rest because sleep is fundamental. The next biggest one is like, I'm so embarrassed to say, I just implemented this 1 or 2 months ago. clock out time, which as an
Ooh,
entrepreneur, right?
I'm
There
like,
is no
clock out. What's
right,
that?
no. But now officially, right? I have a clock out time, which is 6 or 7. So 6 is my goal, but 7 is my must. Sure, I have an event tonight, right? We have a sound bath at a really beautiful hotel. I'm working.
Yeah.
Sometimes things will go late, but overall, every single day, I don't plan any meetings. I don't plan any calls past 5, 6
Yeah.
o'clock, right? And then I give myself that hour to type the loose ends, and then hopefully I'm done. So the clock out time to me is the most important because I'm like, okay, there's
Shut
nothing
it
I can
off.
do. I can't
Shut
do
it
anything,
down.
you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are kind of my two most helpful. And then also just, I hate this one. Jay's always like, is anyone gonna die? And I'm like, no. Are you gonna die? I'm like, no. So it can wait till tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's like, okay, this is a must. I need to get this proposal out right now. Good, get it done and then stop, you know? So
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
do nowadays.
Man, I love that clock out. I need to clock out. And I feel like that can be for anyone, even if they're not running a business, but just like busy
Yeah.
with their day jobs, busy with whatever it may be. We have to really kind of create this structure, even if it is flowy, but structure is so important. Maybe that's my Virgo rising talking, but the structure is everything to me. And I think for me, I started charging my phone outside of my room
Smart. I
so I
still
could sleep better.
do
Oh,
this.
it actually works. I'm actually shocked that that actually works. I have been sleeping better and staying the heck away from my phone for the first 30 minutes to hour of my day.
So smart.
Because I noticed I just would wake up and check my emails and I'm like,
Totally.
really? The emails? This is how you want to start your day is by reading emails that you're going to be doing all day anyways. It's a no for me. So I created like a morning
Morning routine.
playlist. I
Yes.
created a morning playlist. So the first thing that I do is I play some chill tunes and I'm like, like time to wake up, BB. Let's go. And I'll like make a hot bevy. I'll walk my pup or I'll just sit outside on my porch and I'm like, okay, now I can start my day.
Yeah.
And not all of us have that luxury. Let me just put that out there. I am completely aware that we all do not have the luxury to do things like that. But I think even just these little instances or tidbits that we can create for ourselves, even if it is the first 15 minutes of your day, beautiful, that's better than none, you
Mhm.
know?
I think a good one too for those that are busy, right, and have a hard clock in time and all of that, even if you're rushing. One thing I do before I even open my eyes, right, is like be grateful.
Yeah.
Put a gratitude because before I would be all stressed and worried, and now I'm like, okay, at least project gratitude into this
Yeah.
day, right? Or and I also love the hot beverage, right? That is
Yes.
so soothing for people in the morning. So even the littlest things, if it's one thing, people like you can do it, right? Find what
Yeah.
works for you.
I
So
love that gratitude list. So, my 8-week program, Elixir, we go through these 3 different realms. We're going through confidence and abundance and connecting with your higher self. And the abundance realm was the last realm. And I
mhm.
always give them homework because if you're a client of mine, you already know whether it's a session, whatever the heck offering I have, I'm giving you homework to do.
I love
But
homework.
for the abundance realm, I created this beautiful guidebook that they do the homework with over the last 2 weeks. And there's like a big majority of it is about gratitude because it's just this idea of why is the universe, God, creator, going to give you anything that you want if you don't already appreciate what you've been given. And
Totally.
you know I think there's something so important to having just being thankful
Mm.
for a roof over our head, for
Yeah.
the food in the fridge, for the
Mhm.
clothes that we have. I've been in places of my life where I didn't have a lot of these things, and so I think especially like you and me, Jamie, and those that have had really challenging parts of their life that they've had to go through, it kind of sets us up for a different appreciation for gratitude, right?
100%. And it's so funny, right? Like people are like, "Ugh, gratitude, right? A lot of our corporate clients, I'll
Yeah,
bring up
right. They're like,
gratitude. And like,
so
don't be
cheesy,
so
so played
cheesy.
out.
Yeah. But in general, it doesn't need to be because it really does shift your attitude. It really, really does shift your perspective and the way that you look at things that affects your mood and that affects your life in turn. So yeah, gratitude in the not cheesy way is it. So I'm so happy you incorporate that in your program. And your program is wonderful for anyone who hasn't done it.
I,
That's it.
the shifts in this program are
Yeah.
beyond anything that I ever
Love.
expected. I think a lot of the times I underestimate how much I'm giving or
Mhm.
what I'm actually doing. And every single time when the women share at the end, or even just throughout what they're experiencing, what's changing for them, how they're showing up for themselves. And I'm like, who did this? Who created this freaking program? I'm like, oh my gosh, that was me.
Well,
And
you are so
it's so
tapped in, babe, and you are letting spirit or whatever you want to call it run through you. So, yes, it's you like being a vessel to inspire people to do this, but you are so tapped in. So, it's all of it for sure.
man, I feel like this ties into how we value ourselves and what we think we're worthy of
Mm,
giving and sharing to others and also to ourselves. And I think that valuing and knowing my worth is something that I've always worked through in my life.
love.
And I do feel like I'm at a place now where I do see all of that and I'm showing up a lot differently. And I think that just comes with what life and our experiences and how open we're willing and honest we're willing to be with ourselves. And I feel like for you, even with just all of the amazing things you've done with the different businesses that you've started, and just, I mean, I can see that you see the value in yourself. And what is something that you would share with someone who's battling that or navigating that within themselves?
Yeah. I think it's really just what lights you up. Right? What lights you up? Is it people? Is it a certain thing? Is it animals? Is it nature? And please do that, right? Please do that. Like, I love a spreadsheet, you guys. I love a spreadsheet and I love people and I love events and I love traveling. So I was like, okay, wait, how do I do this? And that's what will shift, right? When you
Mm,
don't necessarily chase, but you realize, like, even I love eating, right? I
me
love
too.
so
Uh,
do what you like. Like, and so that's kind of my inspiration or my message for people is you don't have to hate what you do. And if you do, switch it up. And sure,
I
work
love a
is
pivot.
hard, life is hard, right? Like, okay, you're gonna overcome and even what you like, sometimes you're like, I don't love that right now. But overall, do what you like, please.
What if somebody doesn't know what they like?
Then go and try new
That's where
things.
the adventure begins, you
Yeah.
know?
Go
Yeah, I
somewhere.
guess I could see when my value started building up within myself and my worthiness was within myself was when I learned the things that mattered to me most. And I
Mm,
started living my life from
yeah.
those things of like, okay, this is important to me. I'm going to say this now, or I'm going to show up here, or I'm going to sign up for this thing. And I kept building and building on top of that with just these small actions of the things that kept drawing me or pulling me towards or made me feel good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing up is the biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
Showing up, eat, like, yes, rest, right? It's a balance, trust yourself, but show up for the thing because you don't know what's going to happen ever.
Yeah.
At any moment, everything could shift. At any moment, miracles can happen, right?
They do
And they'll
happen.
only happen when we shift because it's energy, right? They're happening right now. Everything like this sun is a miracle. This breath is, but we can do that all day. But yeah, it's just showing up's huge. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you find yourself balancing between your passions and your purpose and your personal life? Because I know you're starting a whole new journey in your personal life. And how do you navigate finding the balance between the two and making sure that there's some type of separation?
That's a really good question. And it's so funny. Jay and I were talking about this morning, and it's such a good example, right? Jay is my partner in crime, partner in love, partner in the den, and the cosmos, and my husband, and my roommate. Like he's
Bruh,
all
you're
the
like stuck
things.
with him all the
I
time.
know. It's crazy. And so then how do you find that separation, especially with your best friend that you are, partners with? So we had to get to a really fun kind of place of like, we have the clock out time. And then sometimes he'll be like, we'll like take a walk or whatever. And I'll be like, my colleague sucked today. Like it was terrible. He's like, ew, same, me too, right? Because we need to be able to separate those worlds of like, okay, wait, now we can have this conversation. We can laugh about the things, right, that were hard in our work. Right. And sometimes we have these hard conversations because this is our entire existence, right? Is this business, both businesses and our life, right? So we'll be very clear of like, okay, this is a business conversation. We don't want to, offend anybody or hurt anybody. To me, the separation of the two is all about communication. No matter who you're with, whether it's your partner in business or your partner in the bed, whatever. I don't know the better way to say that, but it's just about communication to me and being able to say, okay, like this is playtime. Let's not talk about work right now. Let's go and just have a really nice time. Or I'm, taking a bath. I'm out of here. This is my time to be me, or I'm with the friends, the girls, whatever, right? So that's kind of how I find my separation is through being really clear of communicating them and kind of that knowing, okay, this is my time to do this thing and I'm going to do that thing fully to the best of my ability.
Yeah. I was just about to say, what does solo Jami time look like?
Oh, darling, I love Jami time. So Jay goes to play soccer, and every time he leaves, I go. We have a jacuzzi in our backyard. We're so lucky, but we also have a pool jacuzzi down the street. So we'll like eat, he'll leave, and then I go straight to the jacuzzi. And in the jacuzzi, I chill and I look at the stars.
You're such a water baby.
Oh, I am. It really is it for me. I love it. I also love audiobooks, like a huge fan of audiobooks. Every night before bed, I'm always listening to something and I like goes off peacefully with my books. I like to take naps. I'm a big time napper. It's gotten a little bit less in my, older age, but love a nap, even if it's like a power 15. I love my
I wish I could take naps.
moments. It's the best.
I cannot take naps. It is like not a thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I
So I
wish
think
I could.
rest is it for me. Usually when I'm solo, it's my time to chill.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that for you. And maybe that'll be my challenge for the coming year is how to take a nap. I feel like the closest I can get to a nap is yoga nidra.
No, yoga nidra.
I love yoga nidra. Oh my
too.
goodness. Anybody, if you're ever feeling exhausted or drained or just needing midday reset, yoga nidra is where it's at. Isn't it like 10 to 20 minutes of yoga nidra is equal to an hour plus of sleep because of the state that it puts you in?
Incredible.
It's
Yes.
amazing. And you literally just lie there in Shavasana. Just lie there. Body scan. I'm here for it. That's my nap. That's like my version of a nap.
That's a great nap. I approve that. That's perfect.
Oh my gosh. So wait, what's going on in your life now? Where do you see yourself headed next? Because I feel like you're kind of in the flow and the swing of things with the den. You're starting a new journey within your personal life as well. What's next for you, Jami?
Yeah. So Den is groovy. We do our private and corporate events. We have our hotel partnerships and the membership, right? All the virtual stuff. We have clients for the Cosmos, which we love, right? We do all of our website builds, our consulting and everything like that through that. And then besides business, I am trying to rest more, right? I'm trying to like, call in more slow, which I'm on fire. Like, I'm like, let's go, like right here, right now. Oh, you want to do it? Let's do it now, So I think kind of that slowing down is what I'm calling in. And Jay and I want to make a baby. That's kind of our next mission. We want to make a family. And then when I make a baby, I'm going to get a dog. My dog, 15 and a half years old, passed away last year. So I think that's also why we never really stay in one place is because I'm like, I don't have to come home to any baby or fur baby at this moment,
Yeah.
So I
Taking
think,
advantage of this window.
like I'm excited for that to come, but I'm also trying not to force everything because I'm very much like, okay, but I'm like, let me trust. So slowing down and trusting the process is really where I'm at. Is it easy every minute? No, no, it is not. But is it kind of my goal that I'm like, okay, remind yourself what you're doing? Yes. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. So Casey, my pup, my little Chiweenie, I thought he was turning 12 next month.
Yeah.
And I was recently looking at an old post from 2015,
Cute.
and it said, "Happy birthday to my pup Casey. Happy 5th birthday." And I was like, 5th birthday in 2015? Casey's going to be 15 next month.
Oh, little baby.
I thought he was going to be 12. He's an old gentleman.
He's so precious. I love Casey. What
Man,
a
he's
treat.
wild. He's so happy up here, though. Like, he is so happy in Washington. He's a whole other pup. It's like a whole new life for him. He's so happy. And I have another story. So,
Love.
speaking of baby making,
Yeah.
just kidding. I'm not pregnant, but I would love to add. You're like, how, with who, Bethany?
Hey, I'm here for it. Whatever.
Anything is possible, you know?
Yeah.
I would like to add baby maker to my skill set. I recently had a bestie of mine that was working through getting pregnant with their partner.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, I need to book a session with you. And I was like, let's go. I've been waiting for this moment. And so we had this really in-depth healing session. And in intuitive healing, there's this area in the back of your neck, and there's a switch that looks like a little light switch, a little knob, and it's your pregnancy switch.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, oh, your pregnancy switch is off. Let me turn it on for you. Let me clear out whatever's coming up. And so I'm doing a healing to this space. I'm like, oh, this person's energy is in there. They're blocking this and blah, 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 doing all this work. And I was like, okay, I'm sending you off. Bye. Have fun making a baby. And then I just got a text from them last night.
So cute.
And it was a photo of an ultrasound with the baby in there.
Her switch was just off. Thank God
Your
you turned
switch
it
was just
on.
off. And I was like, I knew it. I knew this was coming, but obviously psychic, duh. But I'm so excited for you and Jay, and I can't wait to be an auntie. And I just think that the journey can be so beautiful and also so challenging, but so worth it. And
Can we so I was taught my whole life, come inside one time. I don't care when it is. I don't care, And so it's so weird for me to like conceptualize, even though I know, God, ovulating and whatever. But it's like, it's just so funny that we were taught, so differently, or how they have girls. I got on birth control when I was 13 years old.
Same.
Why are they doing that to us?
Wild.
What in the world? I got off when I was 30 years old, right? And
Same.
they don't tell you that's
The
your
effects that it has on your body. And
So it's insane. I think the system is insane. I hope that it changes. I'm so excited for mothers and aunties and humans like us to be this next generation, with the families, to be like, you don't need to get on birth control at 13 years old.
I can't wait for there to be more studies that are done on actual women.
It's all coming.
It's coming. The day will come. And, that's a great place to start, Yes. Here's a wild idea.
Yeah. So
but, when it comes to just this next phase of life and starting a family, it's like, we got to come at it from all angles, our physical bodies, our mental, our energetic selves, everything that we can possibly do to just best support and create the most nurturing little environment for the future little baby.
Totally.
It's a lot to take on. And, I love that you're still creating space and room to have this part of your life, and not just, although we love the work that we do, it's not what really defines our entire self, right? And it's remembering to live and to be a muggle and to have those experiences that are also just as important,
Yeah. We're here to be human, right? We are humans, and humans are weird. So lean in, I'm always like, lean into the weird. Why not? So
Yes. Well, I'm so happy that we took this time to connect today. I loved hearing your perspective on just like everything that you've been through and how you chose to show up in life. I think it's so inspiring, and I love your drive and your fire and your passion. It's contagious. It
thanks.
is so contagious. And I just can't wait to see what's next for the Den and Cosmos and everything that's going on in your life.
Amazing, babe. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And you are just the coolest. So anything you do, I'm here for, and everyone needs to do it with you. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'll definitely put your contact information in the show notes and, for people to check out the Den. And I just can't wait for what's next for you. And
Yay.
I love
Thanks.
you so much.
Same. I'll see you next week. I can't wait.
I'll see you next week, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me, babe.
Bye.
Bye.